Welcome back to DC Silver Age Storytime, and I'm going to be trying something different. This is kind of be the kind of the new way that I'm doing things, and we'll see how this goes because I'm going to be doing a lot less reading and a lot more analysis and going through the stories slower. So it's not necessarily what I want to do, but let's give it a try and see how it goes. So this story is from Flash Comics from January 1940. And I would call this cover very iconic. I wouldn't say it's a great cover, but I would say it's very, very iconic. So the first Flash comic also features the Hawkman, Johnny Thunder, the Whip, and Cliff Cornwall, whoever that is. So this is the first image of the Flash. Big fan of the costume. Now, even when I was a kid, I was like, how in the world is that helmet staying on? So it doesn't show any strap, and you would think that a character whose whole powers are based on speed, that would be the absolute worst uh, helmet you could wear. Um, his his boots also look a little loose on his feet, but he is supposed to be evocative of Mercury, the god Mercury. So I'm not going to read this part. I will be reading some of it, but not necessarily this. The one thing that stood out to me was that it says that his speed is the dismay of scientists. I don't know why it would be the dismay of scientists. And I will admit one thing: reading through the stories kind of helps me keep along with it. So this is going to be a challenge for me. So we open up with Jay Garrick, the Flash, although he is not the Flash yet, and he is approaching Joan Williams, I believe her name is, and she expresses that she's not really interested in him because he's a scrub on the football field, which, sometimes with these women in the golden and silver age, they can be a bit shallow, but she does bring up a good point, which what she's saying is that with his build and brains, he should be a star, but I guess he's not putting in the effort, and that's what bothers her. He's a scrub, just like an old washwoman. So I'm an old washwoman, eh? I'll show her. So we're out on the football field, and it does seem like his skills are pretty poor, and he's called Leadfoot. And then the story moves back to their laboratory, where he and the lead scientist are working on experimenting with hard water. Hard water is a thing. It's just water with a lot of sediment in it. So it's a little strange that they would use that term. But Jay Garrick is there. He's having a cigarette and just bumps into one of the, I don't know what this, it's not a beaker, but I don't know what that thing is called. Crashes to the floor and releases a gas, which knocks poor Jay Garrick out. He's overcome by the flames. It's too much for me, so he's out. The lead scientist comes back and finds him there on the ground, and cries out for help. So Jay is taken back to the hospital, where apparently he is hospitalized for weeks, but because he's young and healthy, he gets back to his old normal self. Boy, that food tastes good. I could eat a horse. So we find out that apparently, now this scientist, is that the same scientist? No, okay, this one has no beard. This one does. So they're very similar looking, but not quite. And it turns out because he inhaled this hard water, the gas, that he will have an incredible speed. The gas injects him like a vaccination. Science knows that hard water makes a person act much quicker. Does it? Quicker than ordinary. So he's going to be running faster than anyone ever has, and he can outrace a bullet. So later on, he spots Joan, I guess, getting on a bus, and runs out there. And at this point, I don't think he knows he has super speed, but he does say, "Wee, can I travel?" So he appears instantaneously. "Why, where did you come from all of a sudden? You appeared before me." And she asks him to go to the library and get a book. So he goes there instantly. Oh, you sprang from the air, the thin air. Never mind that. Stamp this book. And then he is gone. You got it, and you weren't gone 2 seconds even. Jay, what happened? So, it's pretty amazing, but she just kind of takes it in stride. Oh, okay, now you're super fast. But he's got a game tonight, so we'll see how he does. They're just hauling people off the field, and he's riding the bench because I guess he's just not good. That's why they call him Leadfoot. And he muses that the only way he'll get in the game is if the rest of the squad is knocked out. So I know that in the 1940s football could be quite brutal, but I'm not sure that they're knocking out that many players. So player Bull Tryon is injured, and that brings in Leadfoot Garrick. So he goes in. I'll show him. Boy, are they in for a surprise. And he's no longer Leadfoot. Down the field, Jay streaks to a touchdown. And so he just keeps piling up touchdown after touchdown. Now, I don't know. I think at this point, if people were watching a football game and somebody started running like way faster than any human could possibly, I don't know. I think they would just cancel the game and accuse them of cheating. But he's made the hero and then later graduates. So he's heading off to a university, or I'm off to New York, assistant professorship at Coleman University. Later on, he's reading the newspapers. Racketeers wreck stores. Maybe the district attorney wasn't fast enough for them. Something ought to be done. So he takes on the identity of the Flash, and this little picture is the first picture of the Flash in a costume. So he's going out and taking care of criminals. I feel better turning my speed into channels to fight crime. I feel useful to humanity. Later on, Joan and her father are out at the Coleman University, and they see Jay Garrick playing tennis with himself. This is easy, but good exercise. So her father says, he goes so fast I can't see him. Only one person can do that, Jay Garrick. And again, she's just takes it in stride. Oh, okay, yeah, he's super fast now. So she comes up, I guess that's not her father. Jay, something terrible has happened. I thought you could help me. Daddy's been kidnapped. I don't know, I feel like she was kind of blasé about it. And a car comes up, and somebody inside attempts to murder her. But he's able to attune himself to the speed of the bullet and catch it before it can harm her. Whoa there. And she's happy now. I think you're marvelous. I know you can help me. Amazing, but I still don't believe it. So this person who tried to kill Joan Williams arrives at another part of town and says she's been killed. And this is the Faultless Four. Sieur Satan, Sergei Orlov, Duriel, and then another guy. Whatever his name is. They're trying to get information out of... Oh, no, that's the father. They're trying to get information from him. And I don't know why they think that killing his daughter would cause him to give up the information. They want information on the atomic bombardier so they can sell it to foreign nations. Allow me to visit the girl's home. As an undertaker, I shall bring the body here. The shock of seeing his daughter dead might make Williams talk. I have a feeling it would do the opposite. So he shows up, and he's asking Jay Garrick about the dead girl. What dead? Oh, you mean Miss Williams? Yeah, she had an accident. So he's already highly suspicious because who would know that there was an attempt on her life other than the person who did it? And she wanders out. Pardon me, there's some mistake. I think there is too. He knew of the shooting. I let him go because I want to hear what you have to say. He must be one of the Faultless Four, so we're going to hear more about that. But I'm going to cut it off now, and we'll see what people think of the new approach I'm taking to going through these stories.